Welcome back. The circumstances around Tammy Daybell's death were the center of testimony today in Lori-Vallow-Daybell's murder trial. Along with being charged with her own kids' murders, Vallow was accused of conspiracy to commit murder in Tammy's death. Tammy was married to Lori's current husband, Chad, before she was killed in October of 2019. Investigative reporter Morgan Romero was in court all day long. Morgan, you know, the jury heard and saw a lot of things today. They heard from so many people today.
Yeah, they did. 10 people took the stand in a very short amount of time. Trial only going from 8:30 to 1 o'clock this afternoon. We've even seen some days in this trial get canceled as well. You know, this was the first time the prosecution really dug into Tammy's death in this trial. The most powerful witness today was Tammy's sister, Samantha William. She told jurors just 2 weeks after her sister died, Chad married Lori. William said she was devastated to learn that. Chad told William he and Lori connected because they were both grieving dead spouses. Chad told everyone 49-year-old Tammy was sick and woke up coughing and vomiting before she died in her sleep on October 19th, 2019. But multiple witnesses testified today. Tammy was healthy and active before she died. Attorneys questioned 8 other witnesses, from Fremont County law enforcement officers and dispatchers to the coroner and people Tammy worked out with who testified to how healthy she seemed. We heard the 911 calls the Daybell family made in October of 2019, including the one from Chad and his son the morning Tammy was found dead. In it, Chad is crying and distraught. We also saw graphic photos of how law enforcement and coroners found Tammy's body with a pink foam on her cheek. They thought that was odd, along with how young she was, but officials didn't think an autopsy needed to be done. They ruled her death natural. It wasn't until the investigation into Lori's missing kids picked up that law enforcement exhumed Tammy's body a few months after she died, and a Utah medical examiner did an autopsy. The coroner confirmed that autopsy found Tammy was killed and died by asphyxiation. Prosecutors charged Chad with Tammy's murder, but we don't know who exactly they think killed her. Many family members have been in court, some to testify, others to see the trial play out in person. Lori's uncle, Rex Connor, says Monday was the first time he'd seen his niece in 5 years. He remembers her as a loving and patient mom, especially when it came to JJ and his special needs. But Rex knew something was off when Lori's ex-husband, Charles Vallow, emailed everyone in the family in 2019. That was before Lori's brother, Alex Cox, shot and killed him. Charles told Lori's family she was losing it and sent them copies of her light and dark ratings, which she and Chad used to determine people were possessed by evil spirits. Rex didn't get involved at this point, but he says he knew Charles was right.
Do you think they really believed what they were saying about their religious teachings, that these people really were zombies possessed by evil spirits and they had to get rid of the bodies? I mean, do you buy that? It seems like they really believed it.
Chad and Lori definitely no. They're just evil people making up crap to try to get other people like Alex, who might believe it, to get them to do what they want. Money, less power. I love the way the prosecution approached this and said it in their opening, in their opening statements. That's what it's about. It's about money, lust, and power. And that, for Chad and Lori, that's what it was. They didn't believe that stuff. This wasn't religious stuff. This was, they grasped whatever they could to try to get as much money, sex, and power as they could. If there's something beyond evil or beneath evil, this is it. And they're all accountable for their actions in it.
What do you hope happens out of this trial?
I'd love it if people could get all the answers. I just hope we can get as much as we possibly can. I know some things won't be answered. It's very disappointing on Wednesday to hear the cause of death for Tylee was homicide by unknown means.
Rex also recognizes there is a mental illness component here with Lori. As he sat through trial and heard evidence, he said he learned Lori and Chad were actually more involved in the deaths than he originally thought. Talking about a family member he was once close with in this way feels surreal. He told me even more surreal was seeing Lori in person this week, Shira. He said that when he and his daughters walked into the courtroom, they would sort of look at Lori and smile because all these memories came flooding back. And it was somebody that they really loved, right? And Lori would sort of give him a half smile back, and then reality would set back in. They'd snap back into reality and realize, you know what? No, we're here for a reason,
Wow, powerful interview there. And he said the last time he saw her was 5 years ago.
Yeah, he hadn't talked to her at the time when she moved to Idaho and all of this was going on.
All right. Well, thanks, Morgan, for sharing that and breaking it down for us. And for updates throughout this trial, you can visit this story on our website at ktvb.com. And for more in-depth coverage from court, just scan that QR code on your screen for a link to all of our coverage of the trial.